Got a fetish and want to know more? Let's dive into the psychology, evolution, genetics, and spirituality behind fetishes. When it comes to developing fetishes, did you know? Those intense sexual preferences for certain objects or body parts. There are a bunch of different factors at play. Science has got two main explanations for fetishes, psychological and evolutionary. Psychological theories say that fetishes can develop when we get conditioned by certain experiences early on, which shapes our sexual preferences. Some examples. 1. If you consistently associate foot massages with relaxation and pleasure, bam, you might develop a foot fetish. 2. Let's say you had early experiences where you were all fascinated and admiring certain body parts, like hands or hair. That can lead to a fetish for those specific body parts later on. 3. If you had experiences early on that involved power dynamics, pain, or pleasure, that can influence whether you develop fetishes related to enjoying pain or inflicting pain when you grow up. 4. Remember when you used to play pretend as a kid? Well, if you found certain roles or scenarios really exciting or arousing back then, it might translate into having a fetish for specific role-playing scenarios as an adult. Evolutionary theories have their own take on fetishes, including the foot fetish. They believe that certain fetishes have ancestral roots and are connected to things like reproductive potential and health indicators. Some examples. 1. Back in the day, people with healthy and well-formed feet were seen as indicators of good health, agility, and reproductive potential. So, a foot fetish might have developed because of this ancestral association. 2. Breasts are like a symbol of fertility and the ability to nourish offspring. That's why a fetish for breasts might have developed, because they've got this ancestral connection to reproductive potential. 3. You know when someone's all about that hourglass figure? Well, a preference for a specific waist-to-hip ratio might be linked to our ancestral instincts. It's connected to fertility and the ability to bear children, so that's why it might float our boat. 4. We tend to find symmetrical faces attractive because they can indicate good health and genetic fitness. And when it comes to mate selection and reproductive success, that's a pretty big deal. 5. Power dynamics and hierarchies were part of our ancestors' mating strategies. So, fetishes related to dominance and submission might stem from these ancestral instincts and their connection to social roles and reproductive success. Research suggests that genetics may play a role in fetishes, but the specifics are still being uncovered. Some examples. 1. Studies have shown that identical twins, who share all their genes, are more likely to have similar fetishes compared to fraternal twins. 2. The patterns of fetishes within families hint at the presence of inherited predispositions or genetic variations that contribute to fetish development. 3. Future studies, like genome-wide association studies, might help us identify the specific genes or genetic variations associated with fetishes. We're diving deep into the genetic side of things, but it's not as simple as one gene causing it all. Fetish development involves a complex interplay of multiple genes and environmental influences working together. Different spiritual perspectives can view fetishes in various ways, each with its own twist. Some examples. 1. Some spiritual beliefs see fetishes as symbols that go beyond the surface, representing aspects of personal or spiritual growth, archetypal energies, or metaphysical connections. 2. Certain spiritual perspectives view fetishes as having energetic or spiritual connections, believing that they can tap into or channel specific energies or intentions. 3. Spiritual beliefs about fetishes can vary among individuals, as personal interpretations and experiences shape how fetishes are understood and integrated into one's spiritual journey. 4. Spiritual perspectives on fetishes can vary across different traditions. It all depends on the diverse cultural and religious contexts in which these beliefs are rooted.